Looks like we have a very high-tech system here tonight. However, these two microphones are here so that students, parents, grandparents, or anyone else around literally the world can see tonight's ceremony. It is being video streamed and it will be archived on the John Glenn School Corporation website. So later this evening, tomorrow, a month from now, you may look at the proceedings this evening. Good evening. My name is Mark Model and I'm the principal here at Urey Middle School. It's an honor to be standing before you to celebrate the great accomplishments of over 100 Urey Middle School students that are to my left. Tonight, these students will be honored for a wide array of awards. Some awards took 2 years to earn. Some awards are a result of the hard work of the 2010-2011 school year. The students sitting to my left are just a fraction of the students that earlier today were honored right here in this gym at grade level awards programs for a variety of academic, attendance, and athletic achievements. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to ask to make sure that you have your cell phones either on silent or off. We had 3 students who are going to be honored this evening that I am aware of who were unable to attend. One of them is out of state, one of them had surgery, and one of them is at, I believe, his brother's sectional track meet. And I would like to wish each one of those 3 a good evening. One of them asked me to give her a shout out. I'd like to thank Mr. Andy Stegmiller and Mr. Jim Hauser for their work on video streaming tonight's program. This is the 2nd year that we have been able to video stream the program, and it proved to be very successful. I'd like to introduce the members of the John Glenn School Corporation Board of Trustees that are in attendance this evening. I believe there is one, and that is the president of the board, Mr. Jeff Johnson. Other members of the school board include Mrs. Janice Ryan, Vice President, Mr. Bill Groves, Secretary, members Mr. Mike Daubie, Mr. Dennis Holland, Mr. Tom McCormick, and Mr. Kurt Pletcher. And unable to be with us this evening, Mr. Richard Reese, Superintendent. Each year, the staff at Urey Middle School nominates and then votes upon 2 staff awards. The first award that we're going to give this evening, actually the first 2 awards, are staff awards. Mrs. Debbie Johnson was selected as the Urey Middle School Support Staff of the Year recipient. In her 6th year at Urey, Mrs. Johnson's job title is Secretary/Treasurer. As is true with so many staff members, her job title is only a small portion of what she does. She is vital to the UMS and it running smoothly. As one staff member rhetorically asked, is there anyone who greases the wheels like she does at Urey? I can't thank Mrs. Johnson enough for her dedication and support of the students and staff at Urey. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mrs. Johnson for trying the impossible, keeping me organized and on schedule. Congratulations to Mrs. Johnson for being selected as the 2011 UMS Support Staff of the Year. Our next award, the UMS Teacher of the Year Award, is presented to Mrs. Jill Groves. Mrs. Groves is completing her 19th year at Urey. However, Mrs. Groves' family and consumer science classes this past year have undergone a dramatic curriculum change. I would like to take a moment to read what staff members wrote when nominating Mrs. Groves for this award because I believe they can say it better than I can. I know they can say it better than I can. I nominate Mrs. Jill Groves for her willingness to tackle the technology/computers without a single complaint. It definitely was outside of her comfort zone, but she looked at the changes as a positive challenge. Her confident attitude about the whole situation is admired by me. I think she has done a great job this year, having to teach computers with little prior experience. I don't know about the little prior experience because she's quite an expert. She's worked really hard with Mr. Ponder and Mrs. Phillips getting the hang of Moodle and Google Docs. You all know what that is. She did an amazing job working with a medium that she hasn't spent much time with before, and I think that says a lot about her. Mrs. Groves, congratulations on being selected by your peers as the 2011 UMS Teacher of the Year. I know it may not look from the end, but there are actually quite a few seats, especially on this end. If you'd like to filter down, please feel free to do that. And as you're doing that, I'd like to introduce Miss Richards, who will present our next award.
Miss Beth Bennett will also join me in giving the math awards. The mathematics awards are based on academics, attitude, love of the subject, and doing their very best, also in participation. This year's Advanced 7th Grade Math Award goes to Hunter Weiss.
For 7th grade in Algebra 1, Ashton Pease. Eighth grade Geometry Award goes to Justina Weiss. And the 8th grade award for Algebra 1 goes to Holly Rowe.
Now, Mrs. Lori Coyce would join me in giving the Academic Competitions Awards. Each year we participate in the Academic Super Bowl. This year we had to study about the Incas, the Aztecs, Olmec numeral system, and a variety of things from that era. These are our teams. Ainsley Adamson, because I have quite a few, if we can just hold the applause for this group until we're all done. Ryan Eric, Mary Ike, Taylor Felgenauer, Katie Croft, Tyler Lappin, Bryce Lemmert, Kaylee Lenig, Lauren Morey, Reed Mawson, Hayden Parsons, Rebecca Parsons, Riley Patterson, Madeline Piedra, Nick Press, Holly Rao, Brittany Spornauer, Skylar Thomas, Thaddeus Van Overberg, Hunter Weiss, Sam Weiss, Nick White. We give them a round of applause. Thank you.
This year, the Urey Spell Bowl team won the regional competition and scored so well that they were able to participate in the state competition at Purdue University. There, they managed to place third in the state. I am very proud of this team and their accomplishments. And the Urey Spell Bowl team members are Bryce Lemmer. Oh, I see. Ariana Moss. Rebecca Parsons, Riley Patterson, Madeline Piedra, Paige Reed, Holly Rao, Rebecca Shue, Brittany Spornauer, Faith Stull, Ian Stull, Justina Weiss, and Paige Wiseman. I also have the pleasure of announcing this year's 8th grade Language Arts Award winner. It goes to a young lady who for a while I saw more than my own daughter, it would seem. This student excels in the classroom, always giving 110% no matter what the assignment is. She was actively involved in our successful Spell Bowl team and our English academic team. She also won first place at the Plymouth Pilot Spelling Bee here recently. I'm very proud to announce that the 8th grade Language Arts Award goes to Holly Rao. And now I also have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Butts.
I do trust and hope the students heard the word pleasure. The 7th grade students this year have thoroughly enjoyed giving several speeches this year, so I know I'm under a microscope. Anything I screw up on, I'm going to hear about it tomorrow. Luckily, I have no time limit. The 7th grade Language Arts Award is based on, subjectively and objectively, on participation, academic performance, and their personal growth in the language arts field. And not nearly as eloquent as Mrs. Coyce, but I am proud to give that award to Rebecca Parsons. And it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Diane Phillips.
there are many outstanding 7th grade artists this year in the 7th grade class. The winner of the Outstanding Award this year does high-quality work, and she often finished early and was always willing to help others. She received a blue ribbon in the Tri-Kappa Art Show for her watercolor painting. I'm happy to give the 7th grade art award to Stevie Klingenpeel. The 8th grade award this year goes to a student who quietly does everything she is asked to do. She won 2 blue ribbons in this year's Tri-Kappa Art Show in sculpture and in drawing. This year's winner for 8th grade Outstanding Art Award is Marie Hostetler. And lastly, the Advanced Art Award winner has participated in advanced art enrichment every chance that she's gotten in the last 2 years. She's participated in painting furniture and always creates interesting artwork. And the advanced art winner this year is not with us this evening, and it is Mary Ike. I have the pleasure of introducing Mrs. Amber Jordan and Mrs. Cindy Eisenbarger to present the Science Awards.
This year, the 7th grade Science Award goes to a student who maintained an A average and shown a genuine interest in science outside the classroom. He had an awesome science fair project. He received first place at Urey Middle School. He then went to the regional fair at the University of Notre Dame, where there he advanced to the state science fair in Bloomington, Indiana. He received a 3rd place of all 7th graders in the entire state of Indiana. I'm proud to give this award to Jeffrey Stricker.
Okay, the 8th grade Science Award goes to somebody that is always reliable in the classroom. I can always count on this person to set the curve for our science class. She is very quiet, but soft-spoken is not always a bad thing, and always the one that is responsible for turning in everything on time. This year's 8th grade Science Award goes to Holly Rao. Up next with PE and Health are Mrs. Parrish and Mr. Schmeltz.
This year's health awards are based on class participation, academic performance, and their overall effort and helpfulness in class. Mr. Schmeltz dealt with the 7th grade, or chose the 7th grade award this year, and I chose the 8th grade award. Our 8th grade award was difficult to choose. There were several deserving students, and so unable to decide. I decided on Lauren Vukovitz and Hayden Parsons. Seventh grade health award goes to Anthony Borelli, and I believe he's out of town, so he's unable to be here tonight. Our physical education classes, we look at a lot of things. It's not just skills, it's not just how well they do whatever activity it is that we're doing, but we like to look at attitude, we like to look at effort. We throw some written tests in there, so it's not just for that skill-based child. It's just overall effort and attitude and enthusiasm for PE. This year's 7th grade Girls PE Award goes to Chelsea Groves. Seventh grade boy goes to Alec Runyon, and I do believe he's at his brother's sectional tonight, so unable to be here. Outstanding 8th grade PE award goes to Natalie Shetler. And our outstanding boy goes to Ian Stull. The last thing we have to do is to pass out our Presidential Physical Fitness Awards. And the reason why we do that tonight is because it takes a lot of effort and a lot of willpower to achieve that award. And we don't have very many oftentimes that are successful at that. We have a lot of national award winners and we honored them today. But in order to achieve the presidential status, they have to reach the 85th percentile in all 5 of the test components, which cover everything from the mile run to being able to do a sit and reach for flexibility. So there are a lot of things that go into that. We do have very few that are able to achieve that, so we feel like it's important to honor. 7th grade awards go to Devin Becker, Chelsea Groves, Nick Mendenhall, Alec Runyon, and Hunter Weiss. Eighth grade awards go to Zach Combs, Adam Dodson, John Troyer, Cam Mester, our only girl winner this year goes to Claudia Kovac. And I want to award Claudia also today, exceeded the pull-up record, which has been here since 2005, I believe was the last time it was set. She did 12 pull-ups to achieve that record, so great job, Claudia. Mrs. Groves is next.
The Family and Consumer Science Award is based on grades, class participation, and a general interest in the class. This year's 8th grade award winner goes to Rebecca Shue. And the 7th grade award goes to Christina Nelson. And I get to introduce my colleagues with computers, Mrs. Phillips and Mr. Ponder.
The students go through 3 weeks with each of us for computers. So we put together this award on grades, attitude, and creativity with our projects. The 7th grade goes to Bryce Lemmer. And the 8th grade award, don't get up, goes to Ryan Colwickness. And for the Industrial Technology Award, I give that based off of good attitude, everyday willingness to help, go above and beyond, and just a general interest in the class. And this year it goes to Quentin McGoy. Hey, congratulations. And next is Mrs. Kathy Fuda.
Each year, students are required to read accelerated reader books and take comprehension tests on them as part of their classroom grade. Passing test scores earn students points according to the level of the book that they read. All students are rewarded from the Media Center at point levels of 10, 25, 50, 100, 300, 500, and 600 points. There are students who voluntarily choose to go beyond the classroom point requirements. It was common to see our top student each morning bring in 4 books to exchange for another 4. With 1,170 points, Mrs. Morris and I are proud to give the Media Center AR Award to Maddie Piedra. The next presenter is Mrs. Diane Phillips.
The music department wasn't able to be here this evening, so I'm presenting the band awards. 3 7th grade students received the band award this year. Michael Cartwright, Lindsay Dankert, and Dana Gum. The 8th grade outstanding students are Brooklyn Smith, and Sean Austin. Mrs. Droder apologizes for not being able to attend tonight. This is what she has to say about the students she would like to recognize. The students being recognized tonight have gone above and beyond what is expected of choral students. Like others in choir, they have vocal ability, a desire to improve their vocal skills, and a real enjoyment of music. But beyond those basic skills, she has also witnessed leadership, perseverance, dedication, teamwork, and always, always going beyond what is asked for the betterment of the group. 7th graders being recognized tonight are Ashley Burnett, Bryce Lemmert, and Thaddeus Van Overberg. Eighth graders recognized tonight are Justina Weiss, Brian Richardson, and Ryan Eric. And I would like to introduce Mrs. Francie Bevel and Mr. Damon Groves to present the Social Study Awards.
The Outstanding Social Studies Award is for the student who exhibits a great attitude, exemplary effort, enthusiasm, class participation, and grade point average. I am pleased to present the 7th grade Social Studies Award to Hunter Weiss.
I'd like to introduce this year's 8th grade Social Studies Award to two students who participated regularly, showed a genuine interest, and excelled academically in U.S. history, and that would be Sam Weiss and Christopher Gomez. Also annually, we have an 8th grade geography, a junior high geography bee, and this year's winner was James Farnsworth. And I would now like to introduce Mr. Frank Sheneman.
Over the past 36 weeks of school, nearly 80 students completed over 2,200 combined volunteer hours in the North Liberty, Walkerton, and surrounding communities. To be an outstanding volunteer, one must be hardworking, dedicated, compassionate, and willing to do what is asked of them at a moment's notice. This year's recipient exemplifies this and more. With his ever-constant smile and enthusiasm, he would rally the troops to do their best no matter what job might have been asked of them. This student has truly embraced the spirit of volunteerism wholeheartedly. It is with great pride that I announce the 2011 UMS Volunteer of the Year Award to Kyle Peterson. And now I'd like to introduce the amazing Mrs. LeBeer.
He meant amazingly pregnant, is what he meant. The following students had to miss no more than 1/2 day during the school year to receive 1 year perfect attendance, and we have quite a few, so I ask that you please hold your applause. Jenna Adams, Heather Austin, Sean Austin, Devin Becker, Amanda Bowen, Austin Burnett, Kenneth Carlson, Nick Carrera, Kathleen Chenoweth, Dalton Dokie, James Farnsworth, Iris Fry, Amber Furlong, Taylor Haney, Kayla Hatfield, Zoe Hang, Madison Cobelt, Marina Lindsay, Lauren Morey, Kaylee McIntyre, Reed Mawson, Christina Nelson, Riley Patterson, Ashton Pease, Brandon Pranger, Samuel Saldana, Helen Satterfield, Andrew Sheffer, Rebecca Shue, Samantha Slider, Daniel Wallace, and Matthew Wolf. There are also 4 students who achieved 2-year perfect attendance, which means no more than 1/2 day in 2 years, which I think is pretty amazing. Madison Cobelt, Reed Mawson, Amber Furlong, and Miss Kayla Hatfield. And now the lovely Mrs. Kathy Puda.
The North Liberty Tri-Kappa Service Award is given to a student who exhibits daily use of the life skills in the classroom towards others and is an overall confident student. This year's Tri-Kappa Service Award recipient, who will receive a certificate and $25 Barnes & Noble gift card, is Colleen Prout. Our next presenter is Mrs. Sarah Rippey.
Good evening. I'm very happy to be here at Urey Middle School, and it's my pleasure to represent Walkerton's Epsilon Chi chapter of Tri Kappa. Tonight I'm honored to present Tri Kappa awards to 2 outstanding students of the 8th grade. Their names will appear on a plaque displayed in the hallway. These students have shown leadership abilities, excel in education, and have good peer and adult interactions. Let us congratulate this year's recipients, Ryan Eric and Paige Sokol. And now I introduce the next presenter, Mr. Gary Brown.
Thank you, Mrs. Rippey. It's an honor and pleasure to give the athletic awards out. But before I do that, I talk a little bit about highlights that happened this year and thank certain people. To my right, and who will be helping me hand out the awards, Mr. Groves, who is our 7th A girls basketball coach. Mr. Smeltz, back here, our 7A boys basketball coach. Mr. Dodson is sitting somewhere in the bleachers. He helped with wrestling, and he always appreciates me introducing him in public. I also have 2 people helping with golf, and I hope I get the first one right. Tim Williams, is that correct? Okay, Tim is a volunteer coach, just like Mr. Dodson. He helped take golf clubs out to Swan Lake since we do not have an 18-hole course out here. And I help work with the kids, and I want to thank publicly Tim Van Overberg for covering for me one night when I had something come up and I was unable to attend a golf match. Highlights: championships, the 7A girls basketball team, the 8th grade A boys basketball team won the NSC in the Urey tournament. The 8th B boys basketball team won the Tippy Valley Invitational and Plymouth tournament. The 8th A girls won the Urey tournament. And for a first, the boys golf team brought home the trophy the other night from the Falcon Invitational. Normally, we do not mention individuals at this time, but we have a 7th grade young man who did an outstanding feat the other night, I believe at the Northern State Conference. Alec Runyon ran the 400 meters, or if you do not know what that is, it's 1 lap around that track in 53 seconds, okay? Now, and he's only in 7th grade. I'm sure the high school is just waiting to grab him because he would be beating some high school people with that time. We have found out that that is the best time in the state of Indiana for a 7th grader, and it's 4th in the nation. So, we will begin with the awards with the All Sports Award. There are 16 individuals receiving this award. Each one participated in at least 3 sports in 7th grade and in 8th grade. So please hold the applause until all 16 of them are out here. Larissa Edmiston. Yeah. Adam Dodson. Austin Burnett. Jenna Adams. Chris Gomez. Presley G. Morgan Eggleston. Mackenzie Edmiston. Drew McDonald. Cameron Mester. Cheyenne Harris. Coda Hensley. Sam Weiss. Justina Weiss. Natalie Shetler. Jacob Strong. Thank you. Next will be the Mental Attitude Award. The individual must participate in 2 sports in the 8th grade year to qualify. The student athlete must show good mental attitude toward all facets of life. This year's recipient for the girls, Natalie Shetler. For the boys, Cameron Mester. Next, we will do the Academic Award. The individual must participate in 2 sports in their 8th grade year, must have grades of A and B to receive this award. This year's girls recipient is Justina Weiss. For the boys, Ryan Eric. Next will be the Most Improved Athlete. The individual must participate in 2 sports in their 8th grade year, must show significant improvement in sports that they participate in and throughout the year. This year's girls recipient will be Larissa Edmiston. For the boys, Drew McDonald. Next is the Outstanding Athlete Award. The individual must participate in 3 sports in their 8th grade year, be outstanding in 2 sports, average in 1, show good mental attitude in the sports, and do well in the classroom. This year's girls recipient, Jenna Adams. For the boys, Adam Dodson. Thank you, athletes. Thank you, parents. It's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Jill Groves for the Bob Clark Memorial Award.
Each year, Urey Middle School staff recognizes one 8th grade student, it may be a girl or a boy, who has made the most all-around improvement in the areas of academics, attitude, citizenship, and character. This award is given in memory of a former student who drowned in a tragic accident on the last day of school several years ago. Bob Clark was not a straight-A student, not an honor roll student, but he was, however, a student because he always worked hard to make the most of his potential. And he was actually a student that was in my 8th grade class here at Urey Middle School years ago. This year, the student that best exemplifies these qualities is Teresa Lyle. And next will be Mr. Montlin.
The American Citizenship Award honors students who have shown with their words and/or their actions that they possess the qualities and characteristics we hope to find in all citizens. This award is designed to recognize students who consistently exhibit the kinds of behaviors that we want to see displayed at Urey Middle School, as well as in our communities. I am pleased to say that there are numerous students here at Urey Middle School who are wonderful citizens. The students who receive this award exemplify the phrase, "We caught you doing something good when you didn't know we were looking." Congratulations to 7th grader Chelsea Groves, my folder shut, there we go, and 8th grader Nick Press. The next award that we're going to give out is the President's Education Award. This is signed by 3 people, and you figure out which one doesn't fit. I think I know. President Barack Obama, Secretary of Education for the United States, Arnie Duncan, and me. I'm the one that doesn't fit. We have, as you saw, quite a stack of these, so if you hold your applause, and students remember what I talked about earlier today about making the horseshoe. Jenna Adams, Ainsley Adamson, Ryan Eric, Kevin Alman, Chase Bear, Kayla Bolin, Connor Burns, Sydney Carson, Kyler Columbia, Aaron Dean, Adam Dodson, Dalton Doki, Ben Jevietsky, Larissa Edmiston, Mackenzie Edmiston, Morgan Eggleston, Mary Ike, Marie Hostetler, CJ Jaskey, Leah Kaser, Gretchen Keene, Jacob Kickbush, Katie Krauth, Calvin Kretschmer, Ryan Kowicki. Track injury. Tyler Lappin. Rachel Limmert. Drew McDonald. Cam Mester. Mackenzie Moore. Reed Mawson. Adam Palmer. Sarah Parks. Hayden Parsons. Maddie Piedra. Nick Press. Colleen Prout. Paige Reed. Brianne Richardson. Holly Rao. Natalie Shetler. Rebecca Shue. Brooklyn Smith. Paige Sokol. Brittany Spornhauer. Jacob Strong. Faith Stahl. Ian Stahl. Sky Thomas. Zachary Tibbs. Justina Weiss. Sam Weiss. Jody Williams. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Nancy George, who will present the DAR Award.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure to come to Urey Middle School, and I like participating in your awards program. Each year, the Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, awards one in 87 schools in our county. This Good Citizenship Pin, the award, is awarded to an exceptional student completing the 8th grade. Our DAR chapter proudly gives a special award for public and private and parochial schools in St. Joe County. The person from your class, chosen by the school faculty on the basis of honor, of service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. It gives me great pleasure to present the Schuyler Colfax chapter in announcing this year's winner from your school. Reed Mawson, will you come forward, please? I always like pinning the medal on them. I have a certificate for you too here. Congratulations again,
Thank you.
Reed. And may you continue. May you continue to serve God, home, and country. Thank you.
It is a privilege to present the 7th grade Outstanding Student Award based on attitude, character, cooperation, leadership, personality, participation in school activities, and scholarship. The 7th grade Outstanding Girl is Rebecca Parsons. The Outstanding 7th grade boy is Bryce Limmert. Mr. Groves.
I have the honor this evening of awarding the 8th grade Outstanding Student. It is based on character, attitude, personality, and overall leadership here at Urey Middle School. The recipient for the boys this year is Ryan Eric. Recipient for the girls is Justina Weiss. Next will be Mr. Maudlin.
The following two 8th grade students have earned recognition for Distinguished Honor Roll for each grading term during his or her middle school career. At this point, that would be 7. Distinguished Honor Roll is defined as earning straight A's in each class given during a grading period. Each award winner will receive a medal, and on the back it says 2-year Distinguished Honor Roll and that individual's name. On the front is a display of the Lamp of Knowledge. Congratulations to the following students for their high academic achievement during not only their 7th, but also their 8th grade years. The first recipient, Jenna Adams. And the second recipient, Justina Weiss. Caught it in one of those metal things. Thank you both. The final award that we are going to present this evening is the Harold C. Urey Outstanding Achievement Award. Nominees for this award come from the 8th grade class and have been nominated by one of two groups: their peers in 8th grade, as well as any staff member at Urey Middle School. The criteria for nomination: maintain a C average throughout their middle school careers, although this year's recipients' grades were much higher, and recipients must possess qualities which their peers and adults find outstanding. Names of the nominees were compiled, and every adult at Urey Middle School was given a ballot to select the candidates he or she felt were most deserving of the award for outstanding. This year, 3 members of the 8th grade class have been selected. Award winners will receive a plaque that honors this recognition. Additionally, their name will be placed on the plaque in the front hallway here at Urey Middle School. This year's first recipient has been a quiet but very positive leader in the 8th grade class. He doesn't bring attention to himself with his words, but rather with his positive actions. Activities this student has been involved with during his middle school career include multiple times being on the Distinguished Honor Roll. He just received the President's Academic Award. He's a member of the National Junior Honor Society, as well as the Academic Super Bowl team. He was awarded the Academic Athlete Award. He was a UMS volunteer. He represented his homeroom in student council. He was the outstanding male 8th grade choir student, is a member of Sound Sensation, received the Walkerton Tri Kappa 8th grade student award, and was selected as the outstanding 8th grade male. His teachers greatly appreciate his business-like attitude, and I always appreciate his smile. Congratulations, Ryan Eric. Our next outstanding award winner has been involved in several activities during her career at Urey Middle School, all the while being an outstanding student in the classroom. In addition, she participates in a multitude of activities that are not related directly to school. Some of her accolades include multiple times being recognized on the UMS Honor Roll, a member of the UMS Choir, the President's Academic Award, was selected as Student of the Month, a member of the National Junior Honor Society, a member of the volleyball team, and Sound Sensation. This young lady is highly admired and respected and is able to balance her schoolwork with activities outside of school. She does all of this while taking advanced courses. Congratulations, Sydney Carson. Our final recipient has been involved in many activities while a student the past 2 years at Urey. He has found the time to balance his schoolwork with many extracurriculars. A partial list of his middle school accomplishments include being a member of the Honor Roll, a recipient of the President's Academic Award, a Sound Sensation member, a member of the Academic Super Bowl team, a member of choir, had perfect attendance in 7th grade, had perfect attendance in 8th grade. He was a member of the basketball teams in 7th and 8th grade. Just a few seconds ago, he received the Daughters of the American Revolution Award. He served as the SAD Board of Directors in both 7th and 8th grade. Next year, I'm going to miss our conversations about Purdue basketball and his favorite team, the Dodgers, sorry, Reed. He's an all-around great guy. Congratulations, Reed Mawson. That concludes our program for this evening, but I would like to say one thing. Many people ask, why doesn't 8th grade have a graduation? And I don't look at 8th grade as an ending point because graduations are ending points. That ending point will come in about 4 years and a week. You probably have the days counted. When you walk across the stage at John Glenn High School. I don't know a total yet, but I know that the class of 2011 from John Glenn High School, through their hard work in the classroom, outside the classroom, on the athletic fields, earned over $250,000 in scholarships to further their education beyond high school. That's an impressive feat. That's a feat that you guys should strive to shatter. I had a conversation with my 10-year-old son a couple of days ago who wants to be a professional baseball player like all 10-year-olds do. And I tried to explain to him that scholarships don't come very few or very often on the athletic field, but through the hard work between your ears. He didn't understand that, and when I was 10, I didn't understand that either. Folks, there's a lot of opportunities for you to do some great things in this world if you put your mind to it. You guys have had, I'm talking to the 8th graders here, a great 2 years, but you're going to have a fantastic 4 years at John Glenn High School. I joke with you all the time that 8th grade was the best 3 years of my life. High school will be the best 4 years that you've had so far, but don't make it the best ever. Make it the best so far. Congratulations. Thank you for coming, and good night.
You're listening to Free Music by Dano. Download free MP3s at danosongs.com.